Gosh, look, if you want to do lawn meditations, it's cool. Like, you can do it. But this is the thing. Does it come natural? Is the life force wanting to express this? Is this how it wants to do its sadhana? Can you feel like it comes natural? Like your life force is like, yeah, just sit. Let's sit here for hours. This feels really right. Is that how it feels? Because we have different temperaments and characters and dispositions and gunas, different play of elements. Those with a lot of earth element, they're going to find meditation for extended periods of meditation much easier than somebody who's more air ether element. Your Westerners are more air ether element. So, and more intellectual. Those people generally are going to be more attracted to the whole non-dual Advaita thing of this check-in. So there's different forms of meditation, and then there's active meditations. Osho used to like that, this dancing meditation, and then Gurujif, this twirling, whatever. What's meditation? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Meditation. Why? Why do you want to in this deep concentration? Some people like the concentration, like they get into it. They just want to concentrate. They they burn a flame. They just like it. They just want to keep looking at it. They dissolve. There's something that dissolves, or they're focused on their deity or their god, a picture or statue, and they just merge into it. Krishna or Buddha or Hindu. There's hundreds of gods. That breaks this identity with their little human self, and they start to get merged with this symbol that represents self-realization, their true self. You have to find your path. Now, I said it at the beginning. You have to read the language of life force. How is this life force flowing through you? What's it kind of moving and motivating you to do? You can try a bunch of things and see if you don't know yet. Just try and see. No, definitely not that. This actually, I can drop in pretty nice with this particular sadhana. Well, you have to find your thing. And there might be some days where you feel like doing a longer meditation. Maybe it's raining outside. Maybe that day you're just somehow the life force is a little lower and you just want to sit here, It's like the body and the gunas and elements are cooperating with that sadhana that day. Okay, you flow with that. But those who aren't feeling generally the longer meditations, then here in the non-dual path or self-inquiry, it's more of a check-in. You're checking in. You realize first that there's a state, a formless state or a presence housed inside this body, and this body's housed inside this presence. And so you somehow bring your attention to that. You just not intense though. See, that makes stress. Some people, they don't do good when you tell them focus, and then their mind gets louder. Somehow you have to, those beings, their temperaments, you have to just relax. You just chill. You bring the presence, yeah. But when you focus the presence, it's like, I don't want to do this. You got to know how your particular constitution operates, because we're in it. This is the car we're driving. You can't just deny the car. I don't exist and there's no car, and then you just look weird as hell. So that's part of the deal. That's part of the game, and the challenge is that we have to navigate this ship or this car. And then you listen to how the life force is, what it wants you to do. I like feeling this presence. This is what I do. Sometimes I do the long meditations though. You see? I'm not dogmatic. I don't label stuff, Like, I don't eat meat usually, but I'm not dogmatic. If you want to eat meat, go eat meat. I'm not going to subtly harbor some kind of like resentment. They're not too spiritual though, they're eating meat. God demonstrates that there is no general standard on what a self-realized being looks like. They eat meat, they're vegetarian, they're fruitarian, they're breatharian. They do Raja meditation, Bhakti meditation, self-inquiry, no sadhana. There's all reports of all kinds of things. So you find your way. Don't You know, don't think that there's only this one way. And the other thing about this, and this is natural for a while, I did this too, and it was crazy, but I had to do it, where you see, those who have strong will, you're more pitta type, you're like, I'm not going to quit no matter what. I'm going to die trying to do this. And some people do when they get into dry fasting. They're like, I'm going to just stop eating and drinking no matter what. And I'm not going to give in. And then God's going to bless me at some point. He's going to see, oh, you're trying so hard. Boom. Thank you. It doesn't happen. A lot of them die. And I guarantee when they go to the next plane, some higher being is going to say, why are you so stupid? Why did you waste your body? That was self-will. That was total self-will. You just killed yourself for nothing. But not for nothing. Now you learn. Now there's going to be a tendency in your next life not to do that again, you see. But I used to I'd force myself to meditate for just hours and hours. And my body, I'd be like, the life force would be like, you don't need to do this. Don't do this. It's making your nervous system worse. Like, don't do it. No, I'm doing it for God. Shut up. Like, I'm doing it for God. God's trying to tell me, like, don't do it. But I'm like, no, I'm doing it for God. Because I had to go through that stage of discerning the difference between a so-called good intention from the mind, spiritual intention, versus reality. How does the life force want to guide me in this moment to do my sadhana? See, this is what the channel's for. We have to get into these things. I'm making these videos to actually help. This is why I'm making them. I'm not making them to shine and to just because I'm bored, I don't have nothing to do. Or no, I know the pitfalls, and so I'm trying to share the pitfalls to accelerate your recognition of that so you can let it go, and then you can get back into an inner alignment. That's why I make the videos. This is the only point. Like, why make videos? You should look and see, like, okay, why are you making videos, number one? What are you trying to do? Do you just want to show, like, oh, I'm awake? Or do you actually want to... You got to be aware by looking at your own life, what were your obstructions, and then try to share, if you transcended them, share that with other people. We all got the same things. We all have the same obstructions. We're not, like, unique, you know? Those that don't touch on these things, I just think you're not, you're hiding. You're just hiding. Because we all go through the same thing. Nobody comes into this planet, even avatars, and they're just good from the beginning. They have to absorb some collective karma too, so that because this is part of the game. You have to like be dipped into some delusion in order to exist here. And so that's the benefit, I feel, of a real teacher is that they've went through this stuff, this earthbound struggles and addictions and attachments and insanity, and then they've got to the other side, so now they're sharing it. So then they can help maybe steer somebody and save time. Not totally. You still gotta, if you're hard-headed, you're gonna have to still do all this stuff yourself, but still it can be a benefit. So this is what we're doing here. Because those who watch these particular videos on this particular channel, I feel you want to wake up somehow. And so I'm sharing some things that make it easier. And that's why I also share about lifestyle habits and diet and stuff, because it makes it easier. It makes your car run better. If your car runs better, then your true nature shines through more easy. So then you have the experience of this higher state of consciousness, because it's not being blocked because your car's all, you're putting 87 octane in it and you don't change the oil and you don't change the spark plugs or the air filter, and so it's just kind of all clogged up. How's the light going to shine through on a more human physical level? This is the point of having a human form, is spirit is going to shine through. How is it going to shine through? Everything's all blocked, What are you going to say? There's no blocks, there's no, okay. Do people see your shine? There's no shine? Okay, cool. So, you find your practice. I assume most people that are watching these videos, though, if you're watching non-dual videos, you're going to be more of the type, you're not going to be interested in the law and meditations. but give space for them to happen when they happen. You're going to be more of a check-in person. So you be aware of the presence. Are you aware of the presence? Let me know if you're not aware of the presence. I'm assuming most are. Don't have an ego about it if you're not, okay? That doesn't help anything. Just tell me if you're not. But let's assume most are. You're aware of this presence, this spacious self. So you start to, as often as you can, you start paying attention to that. Not heavy, concentrated attention. No, you just, something checks in. It's like I hear the wave. Oh, I gave a little attention to that. I didn't give so much attention to where it causes stress. It's just, oh, I noticed that. That's what you do. You notice the presence. You just notice it in a light, nice way. Oh, the body's in this presence. This presence it doesn't have form. Like it's, how can it? It's just, but yet there's something aware of that. You just pay attention to that. And then when you forget to pay attention to it, that's cool. Then when you remember, oh, okay, that's cool. And sometimes life's going to show up in a drastic way with certain emotions and drama and things, and you just can't pay attention to it. Even if you pay attention to it, it's not going to change this external experience you're having, which is heavy or painful. That's okay. That's part of the deal. You accept that. This is what I want to touch on. This last thing. This isn't a college course that you're studying, that you can use your mind to study really hard in, and you're going to get this awakening. It doesn't work like that. This is an evolutionary process. It would be like if like a 7-year-old kid wanted to be 25, and he wants to do it now. So he starts reading books and going to classes on how to act like an adult, starts taking some growth hormone pills, right, to make himself taller. Starts going to the gym, trying to get gains. Ain't got gains like this, all right? So he starts doing all that, and then, because he wants to be 25. You can't buck the law of evolution. Can't. You're going to be 25 when you're going to be 25. You see? So it's kind of like that too with the spiritual journey. Relax about it. Don't let go of the concept your mind has about awakening and what it looks like, and oh, other people are awake and I want to get there too. That's all part of the block. That's all. Somebody who's awake's not talking about it. I'm just telling you. They just don't, and they don't talk down to you when they're talking to you or when they're making videos. Like, come on, guys, all you got to do is just, wow, everything is so. It's just the self, you know. Can't you see? See, they don't do that. That's ego talking, disguised as spirituality talking, and that's a very subtle ego that can last a long time because it's spiritual. You know, it's better to have an ego where you just like to beat people up, because then you're going to see that that's a problem at some point. You're going to get locked up, or you're going to get beat up, and then you're going to have to look at yourself. But the spiritual stuff, man, that can go on, and then you go to these spiritual circles. Everybody's doing the same thing. That just propagates it, and okay. But I think those that are watching this particular channel, I don't think you do that, because if you did that, you'd be uncomfortable and you'd leave. You'd say I was weird. I'd say, no, you're weird. I make fun of the ego and the mind, by the way. I'm not making fun of, like, I don't know, did I get a comment once? Let's pretend I did. I don't even know if I did. Like, you shouldn't, you know, spiritual people won't make fun of other people. I'm making fun of the ego. I'm making fun of the mind. That's fun to make fun of. I love doing that. All right. I think I said everything I wanted to say. I'm going to make one more video before it gets too hot. And let me know any questions you have. Let me know if you like this video. I'll talk to you soon.